My name is Christie Morrow-Wolfe, and I'm an assistant to the Bishop here in the Eastern Synod, and also the staff person that relates to the Racial Justice and Advisory Committee. As you may have heard, the Racial Justice and Advisory Committee has issued a challenge to the rest of the Synod for the month of February, which is Black History Month. We have a working list of resources that you can find at the link that will be posted at the end of this video. And we are challenging you to engage with some of these resources and to contemplate your own role as an advocate, an anti-racist, and to challenge you to do some learning and some personal growth. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking, but this feels like one more thing on top of all the things right now. And trust me, I get it. I am also working from home. I am trying to help 2 young children navigate the crazy world of remote school. I don't have many hours left in the day to do a whole lot of reading and personal development right now, but this is important work. So here's what I do. For my own physical and mental well-being, I've been trying to get out for a run at least 2 times a week. This is a great time for me to throw in my earbuds, put on a podcast, and while I run, I listen and I think and I pray and I learn. And then I come home and I talk about what I've learned with my husband, or I maybe call my mom and engage her a little bit. And you know, you could also do this while you make dinner, or walk the dog, go check the mail. Whenever you have even a small pocket of time, it's super simple and easy to do and gets you engaged in some conversation. So I want to highlight a couple of the podcast resources on our list that I've listened to, and then I'm going to share with you how I plan to challenge myself this month. So the first podcast I want to mention is called Climbing the Mountain of Injustice with Austin Channing Brown. And it's found on the Evolving Faith podcast, and it's actually her sermon from the Evolving Faith Gathering in 2018. Now, when I first listened to this back in the summer, I was out for a run, and I ended up running my personal best because this podcast is so engaging that I just kept running. It's followed by an interview with her and Sarah Bessey and Jeff Chu, and it is powerful. And if you're not sure who Austin Channing Brown is, Google her. She's a teacher and an advocate and an author and an activist, and she is an exceptional human being. So you will really enjoy her sermon. It is exceptional. The second podcast I want to talk about or highlight is called 1619, and it's a New York Times podcast hosted by Nicole Hannah-Jones. Now, I'm a history major who has always loved exploring the root causes of events as they unfold throughout history. And this podcast explores the history and origins of the slave trade and really attempts to show how systemic racism has become ingrained and normalized over time. It is engaging and challenging and eye-opening, and it has given me a brand new perspective. 1619 is what it's called. You can find it on our resource page. Now, as great as these podcasts have been, my own personal challenge this month is to engage in some more Canadian content in my listening. So for my run today and throughout February, I'm going to be listening to The Secret Life of Canada. It's a podcast that looks at people and places and events that have typically been left out of the retelling of Canadian history, including the history of people of color in this country. So again, please visit our resource pages for lots of options to read and listen and engage in Black History Month and beyond. And now the time has come. This 5K is not going to run itself, so I'm off. But again, check out the resource page, link on the next screen. Peace, friends.